Welcome back to CETV. I'm Howard Frank from Camera Electronic. Today we're going to be having a chat with Andrew J. Clark about the latest upcoming product from Sony. We're not quite ready to reveal it yet, but check it out soon and we'll show you all about it. Welcome to CETV. I'm Howard Frank from Camera Electronic. Today I've got local photographer, videographer and educator, Andrew J. Clark. G'day Andrew.
How's it going, Howard?
Yeah, good, thanks. So we've got something new from Sony today to talk about.
Yep.
Time to reveal?
I reckon it's time.
Okay, so what have we got? Look at this.
So this is the Sony A7C.
A7C?
Yeah, it's brand new lineup, brand new camera within the full frame lineup range from Sony.
Fantastic.
But you'll notice one really striking thing about it for a full frame camera. It's tiny.
It is. So this is the A7 III, which is much acclaimed. So they're telling me that this is the smallest and lightest full frame camera in the world that actually has IBIS as well. So under 700 grams.
Yeah, that's right. And you can notice comparing it front on, the lack of the EVF, but also side on, it's quite a bit thinner than the full frame cameras that we already have in Sony. So yeah, it's quite remarkable. There's clearly some different construction going on as well because it's really light as well.
Yep.
And you know, this is we'll come to it in a minute, but this is sort of a dedicated videography and vlogging camera.
Yep.
The fact that it's so light means hand holding, vlogging like that becomes really, really easy.
So they're telling me 5-axis IBIS. Did you ever play with that when you were playing with it?
Yeah, so my background is more as a landscape photographer, but I do quite a bit of video work in amongst my sort of commercial clients as well.
Sure.
So I use this as an opportunity to go out and try vlogging. It's not really something I've done much of before, but I figured it's sort of an entry-level full-frame vlogging camera in the way that it's positioned.
Sure.
So I figured as a new vlogger, I'll give it a go, and I found it really, really easy to use. So it's got this flip-out screen. One of the key features which distinguishes this from the rest of the full frame lineup.
So that must be a lot better because I know. Look, I'm a big fan of this tilt screen as well on the A7 III, but I think this gives a lot more flexibility for a lot of work, particularly vlogging.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of situations where I do prefer the tilt, but overall I find the fully articulating screen much more convenient in a lot of difficult shooting situations. But yeah, in that vlogging context, we've got the fully flip out screen so we can position it like this and monitor ourselves as we're shooting. But also how lightweight and small it is, it becomes an incredibly easy thing to vlog with while still getting that full frame quality. The dynamic range and the resolution which comes along with one of the full frame sensors.
We've still got the 24 megapixel CMOS sensor, which is fantastic, and nearly 700 phase detection points too.
Yeah, so I'm told essentially the sensor setup is basically the same as the A7 III in terms of image quality. But they've sort of redone the focusing systems a little bit. So we've got huge amount of phase detect autofocus. It's got the newest real-time tracking from Sony. And if you have played with one of the newest Sony cameras, anything from the A9 to the newest 6000 series, the A7 R4, get confused with the R4s and R5s.
The 5 maybe next year.
Yeah, exactly. It's got that latest eye tracking in video.
Yeah, the IAF's really cool.
Yeah, and it's got the real-time tracking as well. So it's the type of thing where you're getting your B-roll footage, you got your screen tilted up like this, you can touch to track on the back of the screen, and it just makes it seamless and easy.
That's cool. So when you were doing video, I know we were chatting earlier about this shoot here. You were using the Sony mics?
Yeah, so I'm using the newest Sony digital shotgun mic, and the product, I'll give a go at the product name, but I might get it wrong. It's the ECM B1M, something like that.
Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah, that's close, I think. So it's a little shotgun mic which sits on the front. It's quite compact, and it sends the signal digitally through the hot shoe and saves it to the file. So there's no need to run any wires or have any sort of external power for that either.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So what else did you like about it?
So yeah, overall handling was excellent. They've made a couple of smart decisions in terms of button placement and functionality and that sort of thing. So we can see on the top here, we've got the record button on the top now, which is a nice change for anyone.
As opposed to that was down here before.
Yeah, and on the older cameras, it was on the side as well.
Yeah,
it was
that's
even worse.
Yeah.
So that's really, really handy for anyone who's video focused or vlogging. You got that button right on the top, easy to access. Also, the I/O ports on the side. They've made some good decisions here, I think. Another thing that they've put in the Z battery into this one.
Yeah, that's really handy.
So there's virtually no room on this side of the camera for anything. So they've had to move all of the I/O to the other side of the camera. So we've got our SD card port in the middle, which flips up like that. Just a single card slot. But the way they've done it with these other I/O doors is that they don't really impact your viewing of the screen when you're in that vlogging mode.
Oh, that's really handy.
So you can see here, bottom one flips down.
Yep.
And this top one flips to the side, actually. This one's a little tricky to open. It flips to the side. So as you're vlogging, your view of the screen isn't really obscured at all by any cables running in and out there. And the SD card port, yes, that opens, but you won't have your SD card port open while you're filming anyway.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And did you ever play with this new little EVF as well?
Yeah, I did. I must say, I'm not as much of a fan of the smaller EVFs on the APS-C size camera. I do like the EVF in the middle.
Yeah, sure.
But, it's there for when you need it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think, there's always going to be a compromise with going this small and this light, like under 700 grams in a full frame.
Yeah.
And if that's what it is, you've still got a viewfinder you can put your eye up to, and I think that's really just what you need.
Yeah, exactly. I found during the weekend, I was actually perfectly comfortable using the screen for everything that I was shooting. I was shooting sort of video focused because that's what this camera is kind of geared at. But even with my stills, I found the screen like very bright as well. So I didn't actually need the electronic viewfinder. There were a couple of occasions where I did use it, and it was functional.
Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, I know I haven't really used it with this yet, but I've used it with the A6000 series, and I believe it's fairly similar. So, it does everything you need to do in most situations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And we haven't seen it yet, but there's going to be a new little compact lens, I believe, coming out with this too. Like a 24 to 60 you can get as a kit, which is only about 160 grams. So so really compact kit.
Keeping in line with the idea of getting some really compact, lightweight, small, full frame cameras.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have kind of the best of both worlds. You can keep your kit really small and compact and light for traveling, for vlogging, for things like that. But you still get amazing image quality.
Oh, look, definitely. And I mean, look, we've got these other Sony lenses here, as we were saying. That's the other great thing with Sony at the moment is this one mount story across all of their A-series cameras, whether it's the A6000 series or the full frames.
Yeah.
The one mount of the lenses just fit across everything, which is really
convenient. And it's great if you're looking to, you're not sure if you're going to upgrade later and that sort of thing. You start off in APS-C, but you can actually buy the full frame lenses and they just work. And then later on, if you want to upgrade your body, well, you can still keep your old lenses that you were using. Yeah,
definitely.
The E-mount, and it even goes up into the professional grade video products as well, like the $10,000 video cameras that Sony makes. Same mount for those as well.
Yeah, cool. So I love your landscapes normally. Did you try any of those with this or not yet?
Yep. I've taken a few landscapes with that. Sadly, Adobe Lightroom doesn't have the update to process the raw files just yet, but I had a good look at the stills, and yeah, resolution looked really, really sharp. So I was shooting mainly on the 20G, so it's a 20mm prime lens f1.8. So this is again a nice little compact prime lens. It's in the G class of lenses, which is Sony's sort of like second tier, but in all honesty, I haven't noticed much of a difference between the GM24 and the G20. It's an incredibly sharp lens.
Yeah, definitely.
Combination of the 24 megapixel full frame sensor with this prime lens, the results were awesome. And I'm thinking we're going to drop some stills into this video maybe, or maybe accompanied with the video. But
I think we just saw some now.
Yeah, we just saw some then. So I went into the city and was doing some architectural stuff, doing a wide angle shot, which often really challenges the resolution on cameras and distortion on lenses and that sort of things. And I was, super happy with the results. This is certainly not an entry level in terms of image quality. The sensor in this is definitely professional grade in terms of its quality, dynamic range, and that sort of thing.
And so you had a bit of a play through the ISO range as well, and a bit of low light, things like that?
Not too much low light for stills, but I did bump up the ISO for some of my video footage and was looking clean and very usable even at relatively high ISOs.
Fantastic. So Andrew, when we're talking about the video features, I noticed it says 4K. Tell me about what the specs are there.
Yeah, so it's got basically all the capabilities of the A7 III built in there. So it'll do 4K 30 and it'll do 120p in 1080p. So 120 frames in 1080p. And it's got all the picture profiles as well. So that's your S-Log2, your S-Log3, your HLGs, all of those.
Yeah, nice. The other thing that's a little bit different, not a technical aspect, but more just an aesthetic thing, is as well as this nice black unit, they do have it in a two-tone where the top will be a sort of graphite grey and the rest will be black. If somebody wants something that looks a bit different to the rest of the kit and stands out, then it's another cool feature.
Yeah, you can make the camera sort of fit your aesthetic.
Excellent. Well, guys, you can see it's all here. We're not quite sure of the final price yet. We're hoping a little bit under 3,000 would be really nice, but not 100% sure. We're going to be having a launch in store with Andrew on the 24th of September. So anybody that's local in Perth, it'd be great to have you along and come and actually see some more work and hear a bit more about it from him. Thanks for joining us again on CE TV today, guys. It was really interesting to hear everything Andrew J. Clark had to say about the latest from Sony, the A7C. If you'd like to hear and see more of these sort of things from us, please sign up to our YouTube channel, Camera Electronic channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or join our newsletter. All of this can be found from our website, cameraelectronic.com.au. We'd also love to see you in our two Perth stores, 324 Murray Street and 230 Stirling Street. Thanks for watching and see you next time.